Let me tell you about a time where I almost lost everything that I was building. Not because I lacked talent, not because I didn't know what to do, but because I got stuck in a place most entrepreneurs don't even want to talk about. It's a hidden trap that will quietly drain your business until you actually look up and wonder where all your momentum went, where all your clients went, where everything just went. It just disappeared. Now, I remember sitting at my desk, like staring at a blank screen. My to do list was sitting up there looking at me, and it was just sitting there looking at me like, bro, you not gonna do it? Like, I wasn't lazy, but I literally couldn't get myself to move. It felt like I was trying to push a car with a dead battery, but the harder that I pushed, the harder the heavier it actually got. Have you ever felt like that? Where you actually got work to do, whether you doing emails, whether you trying to make videos, serving your clients, whatever the case may be. But every time you try to start, it's like your feet just stuck to the ground. Like, have you ever felt like, it was like a weird mix of being exhausted and guilt. And then you actually wondering to yourself, what's wrong with me? Why I can't literally get this together? I haven't had this problem before. I've gotten over this before. Let me know in the comments if you ever felt like that. Because I know I'm not the only person. I know for a fact I ain't the only person. But we don't talk about this as much as we should. We talk about strategies, funnels, thumbnails, YouTube videos, strategies, you know, but not about this invisible weight that can literally creep in and literally stop all of the momentum that you have building for your YouTube, your business, whatever. Here's what I didn't see at first. I hadn't lost my drive. Like, I hadn't lost my skills, obviously. But the one thing that I did was I slipped into a place of condemnation. And because my identity is rooted in God, when I disconnected from Him for a long period of time, I disconnected from the overflow that actually fueled my creativity and my consistency. And I'm gonna be real with you. I thought that if I just pushed harder, I worked harder, that I'll actually get through the door. I'll just get through it like I did every other time. But that was the problem. And there's a verse in John 15 where Jesus actually says, apart from me, you can do nothing. And I literally felt that in my core that actual week. And I'm being 100% transparent because I want to make sure that people like me who actually want to achieve but feel stuck, I want to give you a way out. Like, here's what happened. Here's what I tried to do at first. I tried talking to one coach, and I'm not gonna lie, they gave me a tough talk. They told me what it was, straight and blunt. They was like, you need to get back on your grind. You need to start posting more. You need to start doing this. But I felt like there was something deeper that I wasn't seeing, that they wasn't seeing. So I ended up calling one of my other coaches. And what she said literally hit me like a ton of bricks. She said, you're not stuck because you don't know what to do. That's not what's wrong. You're stuck because you're living in condemnation instead of stepping into correction. Because here's what happened beforehand. The Holy Spirit had told me that, bro, you're not doing enough. You're not in a place where I can actually bless you. Because what she said, it hit deep. Because I had realized that I hadn't slacked off the work. I had slacked off actually becoming a person that God can actually bless. Right? I had stopped becoming more consistent. I had stopped becoming a person that can be relied upon. I had stopped becoming. And here's the thing that I literally just thought to myself was, until you actually become the person that God can actually trust, your blessing will always be on hold. So for me, my blessing was on hold because I had stopped becoming. And why did I stop becoming? Because I actually disconnected from the source. Now, my friend, I want to tell you something. Sometimes it's not about how much you hustle, how much you grind. It's not about none of that. It's literally about your alignment with God. And I know this is not a conversation for everybody, but when your spirit is off, your strategy will feel a whole lot harder to implement. Your YouTube videos will be harder to create. But here's the enemy that we're really up against. It's not even competition. It's not the algorithm. It's condemnation and disconnection. Two enemies. Like that inner voice that keeps saying, see, I knew you wasn't enough. Why you even try? You knew you wasn't gonna even do it. You said you wanted to be great, but you just you're sitting here just like they said you would. Or even when culture out there, they say work harder, push more, sleep less, grind, 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 even if it costs you your peace and your connection with God. That's what robs us. It robs us of our creativity. It drains our energy. It makes you forget why you even started to do this in the first place. And it's like you trying to plant a garden in concrete, right? You have to have the best seeds, but if it's not planted in the right soil and it's not planted in the right soil, nothing will grow. Nothing will grow. Not your business, not your YouTube. Nothing will grow if you don't plant the seed on the right soil, in the right soil, in the right place. Condemnation kills creativity, but connection fuels consistency. Let that sit in because when you get back connected, it feels like somebody actually turned the lights back on because that's what happened to me. Like the very next day after having that conversation, after, doing what my coach told me to do, that's when my ideas started coming back. That's when my creativity started to connect. My energy came back. She said the next day that I had became a totally different person. I had came back to the person that I once was because she could literally see a disconnect in who I was that day because of how drained and how disappointed I was. But the next day I came back full of life. So I want to make sure that, when you connect back to the source, that's when your life starts to feel a whole lot more and a whole lot more fulfilled. Because I trust me when I say this, your business will not grow unless God is right there with you. It won't. I don't care how much you try. And by the way, if you're watching this and you're thinking that's me, I've been stuck and I don't even know how to move forward in my business. I feel like I had clarity, but now I feel confused. I created something to help you get clear on who you are and your offer and all the things. It's called the CEO Launchpad. It's a free training that I actually put together to help you get clarity on your next steps to make sure that you build your business and your brand from identity and get back to actually building the momentum that you once had the right way. So you can grab it in the description. It's my free gift, my invitation to you to help you get back moving. Here's the beautiful part of everything. When I finally slowed down and reconnected with God, I saw something else. Your business will only grow to the level that you're willing to grow. I realized that I had been asking for an increase, but I hadn't been stewarding the little things well. Luke 16:10 says, whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. And God wasn't punishing me, He was preparing me. He was warning me. He was saying, son, you are not in the place where I want you to be. I need you to get back to that. I need you to get back to growing. Because I had become the kind of leader, like I had to become the kind of leader that God could actually trust with more. And so if I couldn't do the small things well, He was not going to allow me to actually see more. And so, what if your season of feeling stuck isn't the enemy attacking you or the algorithm just not working in your favor, but God is developing you at this current moment? What if He's saying, get back to the source because I have more for you than you even see right now? This right here is a moment for you to actually encourage somebody to show them that, yes, it's hard during the process. You're going to waver sometime, but it's okay because as long as you come back, I will always be here. Always. And so I want to let you know that you're not broken. You're not behind. Trust me when I say that. Because if you feel drained, stuck, or even stagnant, go back to the source. Because that's where your identity, that's where your ideas, your momentum, your overflow, that's where it's all at the source. It's waiting on the other side of correction and connection. Because when you build with God, you don't just get your momentum back. You build with something that actually lasts. And I know that God has something for you, because if he didn't, he wouldn't be correcting you. Because something that my coach told me was that the Lord says the one that he disciplines, he loves. So in this place where we actually feel like it was, or I felt like it was condemnation, but it was actually correction. And that means that one, I'm on the right path. You're on the right path. That just means that he's trying to get you to see, son, daughter, I need you to get into this place so that way you can actually get to the blessing that I already planned for you. Right. And so I just wanted to encourage you. I know this is not like my typical video, but this is something that I'm just being real transparent about. This is where I am. Well, this is where I was, obviously, right? And if this can help, if this can help me, I can guarantee that it can help you, right? And so at this point, I didn't lose anything. The things that I thought that I lost were just waiting on me when I first started back trusting him and, getting back to the source. Now, everything is, it feels like it's moving a whole lot faster than it once was. Truly and honestly. If you feel like you need to get back to the source, make sure you comment down below what's going on. I'll even pray for you, right? Comment down below what is going on in your space. And if you have a testimony, put that down there as well. So I'm cheering for you. I hope that you can learn from my mistake and avoid the hidden trap that most entrepreneurs don't even see that they're making. And so this is Marion Davis, and I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.